it's to me the question of civilization. Are we alone? It is the question, and I don't think we are.
Yeah,
that's my gut instinct. I don't think we are. It seems so ridiculous when people do think we are. You know?
I agree.
But what about the numbers? Just the sheer numbers. Like, it doesn't make any sense that this is so unique that we, in this one very tiny planet, it's spinning around a not so special star.
Occam's razor is we are not alone. You have the Fermi paradox. You have the Drake equation.
Yeah.
You have all these sort of rationalist ways of arguing that, but also there's a great book called The Half-Life of Facts by Sam Arbesman, and he talks about how, like, at any given time, 50% of, received knowledge, like our physical model of the universe, is wrong. So you can say those things are showing up in the sky, that is wrong because physics. But historically, you would have been wrong. Like, that's crazy. It's a bad point, right? And so if you actually look at, whether we're alone or not, modern Enlightenment history is a detour from the past. If you look at every culture, whether it's Iamblichus or maybe a better example is medieval Christianity with St. Thomas Aquinas, or just read the New Testament, like a multitude of angels. You have angels and demons. That's kind of the passport to Magonia, Diana Pasulka, American Cosmic Thesis. Like, this stuff has been going on forever. You look at the devas in Hindu culture, or the jinn in Islamic culture. Like, we are outnumbered in our modern, Enlightenment, rational skeptic epistemology.
Yeah, we really are. And how many depictions from the past of flying things? Ezekiel from the Bible, Vimanas, all these different, like, what are they saying? What are these things? Like, what do you think that stuff is? Like, what is it? You know? And but then again, you and I, neither one of us has had an experience, so we're just like fucking peeing in the wind. Have you seen something?
I've seen a UFO.
But what have you seen?
I've actually a few, but
really,
yeah.
How have you been so lucky?
I don't know.
Maybe it's because they know. You're working on
they're
it.
Like, who knows? There are UFO researchers that like don't like to talk about this, but I think the move is just be honest. Like, I've seen the thing, and
What'd
I don't know
you
what to say. I was in Laurel Canyon where I used to live, and I saw a thing that looked like a fucking school bus. It looked like no visible propulsion, this like sort of low humming noise or whatever. It was maybe 50, 60, 70 feet high, like above right above the treetops. The trippiest part of the experience, and why it's just so weird, is I was with this woman I was kind of dating at the time, and we were taking a walk in Laurel Canyon, and she was like, are you into aliens? And I was like, actually, I kind of am into that. I was kind of interested in that topic. And then I think I joked back. I was like, I kind of want to meet an alien. And she was like, me too. And then she goes, you'll meet them when you stop looking for them.
Oh, that bitch is an alien.
And then as we're this is the weirdest part of the whole story. As we're walking, it's like sunset in Laurel Canyon. We walk by a guy with a metal detector who's like looking for something. It's like, why are you looking for something at sunset in Laurel Canyon or whatever? So like that felt like this weird like mirroring of our conversation. I have no fucking idea. Then we walk into this little clearing and we see this like school bus thing like just go right over the treetop.
What color was it?
It was silver metallic.
Like an Airstream trailer.
Like an Airstream trailer, yeah. I can send you guys a video. I went on Chris Ramsey's podcast, I described it, and I was sent a video, and for all I know, this video is fucking fake, by the way, but it was the thing that looked most like what I saw, because it doesn't match up with like the saucer, triangle thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I am almost more inclined to say discount my own thing over like the Q cleared guys who've like seen these things at nuclear.
How long was it in the sky for?
It was in the sky for like a few seconds because we couldn't even see past the clearing or whatever. She said she saw it go over the trees and then descend down into the distance. I did not see that.
Huh.
And like Laurel Canyon is like mostly residential, so like where did it descend?
Right.
I don't know.
So what else have you seen? You said you saw more than one thing?
Yeah. So another time, I was actually with a friend who invests like with me and Peter and is like the most rational guy you'll ever meet. Like he's a fan of like Noam Chomsky and like David Hume. Like he is a modern rationalist, atheist skeptic. And we went surfing that day. We were back at his place. I was super into holotropic breath work at the time, which I love. And we were doing holotropic breath work. 5 minutes in, we both see these like metallic looking orbs. This time super high up in the sky, like probably, you know, higher than what you would, definitely way higher than a drone. And one's bobbing above him, one's bobbing above me, similar to like the typical like orb that, you know, a lot of people sort of describe, like the Mosul orb or whatever, you know, a lot of these sightings. And he looks at me and I go like, what the fuck is that? He goes, dude, I think that's like some secret black Lockheed tech or whatever. And then I don't even say anything. 2 seconds goes by and then he looks at me and he goes, dude, that's not fucking from here. He's like, that's not Lockheed. Like, I don't know what that is.
Do you entertain the possibility that there's states of consciousness that you could achieve where these things become visible?
Absolutely. And you've had Rick Strassman on. He talks about, you know, DMT, the spirit molecule. He talks about DMT as like night vision, or like it's like it's like goggles or a window. You know, it's like Aldous Huxley, the doors of your perception. Are you superimposing a hallucination onto reality, or are you just seeing? We see a limited part of the electromagnetic wave spectrum. We see between 400 and 700 nanometers. Our audio range, you know, there's a certain decibel limit, right? So like when you take a substance like that, are you seeing things that are in objective reality, but we just don't have access to them? It's actually adaptive for us not to have access to them in our waking reality. And so it's this interesting philosophical question. I don't know the answer to it.
Right. Would we even be able to function if we had access to that? Probably not.
Probably not. No, it is. There's a guy named Donald Hoffman who's a cognitive psychologist, and he talks about, it's like, why don't we see electromagnetic waves themselves? Like, why aren't you seeing Hertz frequencies?
Right. Yeah.
It's we need to iconize everything we see, just like a you know, desktop computer. You know, like, why do you see red? Because boom, red, blood, I gotta run, you know, whatever. Yeah. And then they hack that with notifications on social media. But the point is, we are seeing inherently a collapsed, condensed version of reality. We aren't seeing the thing itself.
Yeah.
And so it ends up in these ontological loops where, like, yeah, some rationalist skeptic can be like, you're lying. That's full. It ends up in this not even wrong category of like, I can't say that what I just said is definitively true as far as it being a window into some other realm, but neither the skeptic, we just live in the age of disenchantment where you say, don't trust your eyes.
Right.
And that's as much faith-based dogma as what I'm saying. So who knows? And that's why I rest when I talk about this stuff on the show. I rest more on the nuclear cases because it fits to our modern epistemology more.
Right.
But it's not to say you should discount these, you know, people's experiences where they do, you know, maybe they're in a peak state of consciousness and they experience a thing. Maybe that thing is real.
There might be multiple different types of things that come by. And the nuclear one is a weird one. I mean, if you were from another planet or some other place and you recognized an emerging civilization that had nuclear capabilities, you'd be like, hey, fuckers, slow down. Hit the brakes, son. You know? You
would freak out.
Unquestionably. You know? That's why we named the rooms at the Comedy Mothership Fat Man and Little Boy, because that's when they started showing up. Yep. That's when we got a lot of sightings, was post the bombs.
Totally. And I love the mothership, by the way. It's amazing. And I love going and seeing how UFO theme, like, you know, in preparation for this, I've had a couple friends be like, man, Joe's like anti-UFO though. And I'm like, no, he's just frustrated with disclosure. Go to the mothership. The whole fucking thing is themed so UFO.
How can anybody say I'm anti-UFO? There's fucking UFOs everywhere. There's one on the desk. There's one behind me.
I know.
That's so silly.
And you broke the biggest UFO story of all time. Like, you've done more for disclosure than anybody, in my opinion.